Hello everyone, Trans here. Today we're going to be on our Magicka Templar, and I'm going to be talking to you about my Battleground non-CP Magicka Templar build. Right now we're riding into combat because we're using the Clever Alchemist, and we need to be in combat to be able to show you the stats. So we're going to be on our Magicka Templar, and if we look at our resource pools, we've got just over 26k Magicka, which isn't that high, but it's high enough. Then we've got 25k health and 11k stam. So we're going to go get in combat so I can show you all the resources because we're using Clever Alchemist. And specifically, this is a really strong build with Clever Alchemist, and when I'm using it for infused potion cooldown. So I'm going to talk about gear, skills, and the playstyle. Alright, so now that we are in fact in combat, we can pop our potion and look at our stat pools. So we've got just over 2200 spell damage, then our 22% spell crit because we've got Inner Light, and our resistances are, after we proc them, are pretty high, 24 and 21k. And remember, this is going to be with heavy armor involved as well, and Earth Core. So we're very, very tanky, and we do damage also. So let's talk about our gear first. So as I've alluded to, we're going to be running our 5 Clever Alchemist. We're going to be using 2 Clever Alchemist sword and board on the back bar with 3 Clever Alchemist on the body. And we're going to be using 2 stamina and 1 prismatic on the Clever Alchemist. Then we're going to be using 5 Seducer with infused potion cooldown. And this is one of the cool things that I love they added in jewelry crafting with Summerset is the infused. And specifically with potion cooldown, you can get like 20-second uptime on potions. And combined with being an Argonian, it's really, really OP because of the amount of resources that you restore from the resourceful passive. I mean, you can go from full... You just get a lot of resources, like almost 20k from drinking a tripod, just with all the passives and everything that comes with it. So we're also going to be using Seducer, just for more Magicka sustain and more Magicka recovery. Then we're going to be using 2 Earth Core. Now they nerfed it, they increased the heal from 4 to 6 seconds, but it's still really, really strong. And it's also really strong in healing your allies. So the gear, Clever Alchemist is craftable, Seducer is craftable, and Earth Core you get from Bloodroot Forge. I go 1 sturdy here, and then you're going to want to go prismatic glyphs or stamina if you want. Then on a front bar, a damage bar, we're going to be using 2 Master Architect Nirnhone swords. Don't worry about the poisons, I just have them slotted there because we don't really do any heavy or light attacks with them. Now, you can also go willpower swords. I just don't have 2 willpower swords to be able to put here in gold, so I use 2 Master Architect for more max Magicka. Alright, now I go sword and board for the extra tankiness and dual wield for the passive. You could also go with Destro or Restro, but I still like the twin blade and blunt because I don't really need a lot of heavy attacks and I have to be in melee range anyways for our jabs. Alright, so let's talk about our skills. So first, let's go on our sword and board bar, where we're using Honor the Dead because it gives more sustain. You could very well go the other morph of Honor the Dead and get Breath of Life and turn this into a healer. I just personally like Honor the Dead because of the Magicka Restore that you get from it. Then we've got Ritual Retribution, especially with all the people using slows. This is a huge ability to be able to just cleanse yourself from all the dots and the negative effects that are on you. Also, it's good for group play and Battlegrounds because your allies can activate Purify, and you sometimes get yelled at if you're a Templar if you're not dropping enough Purifies for them to be able to get rid of all their slows and their dots. Then, this ability, which hasn't even been talked about in the nerf category, is still so strong. You cast that on a stamina build, and specifically in Battlegrounds, I get players that have no idea that what this is or what's on or what to do about it, and they just keep attacking you, and they take damage and heal yourself. So definitely this has to be a staple in every Magicka Templar build. Then we've got our Elusive Mist, real strong because it's snare removal, and it gives you the extra movement speed as well. Then we're going to be using Inner Light for the Major Prophecy and for the Major Skill passives. You could also switch this around if you wanted to go more damage and put your Inner Light on this bar and your Channel Focus on your back bar. Then we've got our Healing Ultimate. I've played around with using Remembrance or the Devouring Swarm. If you want to go more damage, go more Devouring Swarm, but in Battlegrounds, I feel like I need to provide a little bit more group utility, so I go with Remembrance. You could also go with Practice, Incarnation, the other morph. I just like the major protection that you get from it. Then on our dual wield bar, we've got our Puncturing Sweeps. Our Vampire's Bane, again, gives you major prophecy, but I like it because it's also a strong dot and reduces their movement speed. Then we've got our Structured Entropy, giving you your Mage's Guild passives, more max health, and our Major Sorcery. Then again, it's also another dot. If you want to go more dots, you could also run Scoria for more damage. I just like Earthcore, but Scoria is another good choice as well, especially in Battlegrounds when proc sets rule. We've also got our Purifying Light here. It's still strong because of the heal and the damage that it provides. Combined with all of our dots, it's very strong. Then our Channel Focus gives our Major Resolve and Major Wards, but it also restores Magicka. And specifically, you can put this down and go into Mist form and still recover your Magicka. Because if you read the tooltip of Elusive Mist, your Magic Recovery is disabled, but this isn't considered Magic Recovery. It's just you recover Magicka. I don't know why it's worded like that, but you still get it. Then we've got our Soul Salt. It's another strong ability for Magicka Templar because it keeps them out of stealth. And you can apply all your dots. They're about half health, hit them with a Purifying Light, and then start your Soul Assault on them, and the Purifying Light should proc by the time they are dead. So like I said, there's other sets you could use, but for this build, being an Argonian, I really like the Infused Potion cooldown combined with Clever Alchemist, which gives just unlimited resource sustain, and also good damage with Clever Alchemist, and our dots and our skills that we are using. So the Mundus I'm using is the Atronach just for more Magicka recovery, because sustain in Battlegrounds is always what you need to build for. And if you get damage as well with proc sets, then that's strong also. Then the food that we are using is the Clockwork Citrus Fillet. You could use the Tri-Food, but I like this because of the extra Magicka recovery. Then the Witch Mothers will work also. Then a cool thing I do with my potions is you start with your Essence of Lingering Health, because remember, if you look at the buffs right here, you restore health, and that lasts for 48 seconds. So if you hit them with the Lingering Health, then because your cooldown is so slow, or so short, then you can hit a tripod and have all of your Magicka recovery, health recovery, and stamina recovery buffs as well, while you still have that Restore Lingering Health buff as well. So you can have, if you look, by the time I'm done saying this, we have another tripod up. And that'd be even shorter with if they were gold. The gold infused potion cooldowns. So you can have both of these potions up. You could even go in Essence of Speed if you didn't want the Major Vitality. But Major Vitality for 15 seconds is really, really strong, especially because it counters the Defile that a lot of people put on you. The race, I mean, you just have to go on Argonian for this build because of the way it's built. And I guess you could play High Elf, but I would recommend Argonian. So I like this playstyle also because you can play two different ways. You can be real tanky and throw a lot of group support out with your Purifies. And if you want to go Breath of Life, do that. And then also your Remembrances. But it also does damage where you can pop a potion, jump into battle with Clever Alchemist procced, and be able to get a Structured Entropy, Purifying Light, Vampire's Bane, Puncturing Sweep, all your dots on them, hit them with a Soul Assault. So you can do damage, but you're also tanky. So this build is very, very strong. Let me know what you think about it, if I would change anything, or how I would change it up. So, thanks for watching.